Hey there, nomads of lore,
maestros of mirth and mythology.
I'm Shawn.
And I'm Jonathan.
And together we are Mead and Mischief, your home away from no home.
And today we're going to go into our new series, well, a 3-part series of Star Wars Ranked. This is going to be part 1. We're just going to include, this time around, we're just going to include the films.
11.
All 11 of them, yep.
Mm-hmm.
We will do this film again. So this is early 2020. We're going to rank the 11 films. We will do this again sometime in the future, probably next year. And we will include more media. So probably the TV shows, maybe some books, all that kind of stuff. But for today, it's just going to be the 11 films ranked. This is part 1. So we're going to go with the worst film, in our opinion, of the 11. So 11, 10, 9, and 8 in this film. In this video.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're going to disagree. Make sure you comment that later. We're going to disagree.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So go ahead.
Starting with my number 11. Again, this is mine. He's going to say his in a minute. So my number 11, the worst Star Wars film. Now, worst Star Wars, so still Star Wars. Still watchable. Honestly, I think they're all watchable. Is episode number 2, Attack of the Clones. And if I could sum up my dislike for that film in one word, it would be sand. I don't know, the prequels, man. They've given us memes and meme-tastic. The writing in that film is so bad. Not to say that it's all terrible. I mean, it's got Obi-Wan being a sleuth, and that's fun. I mean, all of that is fun. The lightsaber fight is fun. Honestly, I didn't care to see Obi-Wan. No, little green guy, Yoda. I remember watching that, as an adolescent. And I remember thinking, oh yeah, it's cool. Yoda flipping around doing crazy stuff. But the older I get, honestly, the less I like that scene. I know some of you are going to holler about this, but that scene is stupid. Yoda was always the wise old counselor guy. I mean, it's cool that he can also fight, right? But I don't know. It's just cheap. The CG is mediocre at best. The writing is so bad. It takes Hayden Christensen, that guy, and even more than that, Natalie Portman, who is arguably a phenomenal actress, and Hayden Christensen he's fine. He's not done a ton after that, but he's fine. He's not an awful actor, and it gives them such terrible things to go on. And even their writing is bad. Their chemistry is worse. I mean, these two people are supposed to be madly in love. They're supposed to be so in love that Anakin breaks his code for her, and you just don't feel it. I don't know. There's a lot to dislike about that film. So that's my number 11.
There is. Well, that's a good number 11. It's wrong, but no, I'm just kidding. So my number 11 would be episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And it's a lot for the same reasons. It's terrible writing, and my biggest complaint about episode 1 though is that they spent so much time on the pod race. It just is. It's cool, and there's some cool things in there. There's a lot of, it's cars basically, and guys like cars, so I enjoy I enjoy that. I enjoy the speed, the actual pod racers, the pods themselves, whatever. But there was just so much time spent on that, and it just was pointless to me. There wasn't a lot of things that were developed. There was also the whole midi-chlorians, some other little things. I'm trying to remember the name of his owner or the shop.
Watto or whatever.
Yeah. Sorry. So anyway, episode 1, my number 11.
So my number 10 is episode 1, The Phantom Menace. I the thing that makes it better than episode 2 to me is even though the character isn't developed until later in Clone Wars and then in Rebels, which is kind of a spoiler, kind of a lot of a spoiler, is Darth Maul and his fight scene, and then of course Liam Neeson is wonderful, and his acting is good.
Yeah.
Little Annie is annoying. The weird age difference between him and Padme the
start of the love story, and it's like,
yeah, it's just
it's
awkward at best. Jar Jar, of course, I'm surprised you didn't even mention Jar Jar. Honestly, he annoys me less now. I think I know how stupid he's gonna be. Honestly, I don't know whether to be ashamed to admit this or not, but honestly, when The Phantom Menace came out, I saw it 10 times in theaters, though. Mm-hmm. It was with different people. I didn't go watch it by myself 10 times, it's still stupid, and it's still got a lot. And I don't even disagree with the pod. I remember thinking the pod race was cool. I had that N64 game, Racer or Pod Racer or whatever it was, and that was super fun. But yeah, it definitely cut out a big chunk of time in the movie. We could have seen more Liam Neeson in the film, which would have been great. And so I think as I've moved beyond it in time, I dislike it less. But it's definitely my number 10, my next to lowest film for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so my number 10, episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Basically reverse those. It's literally the only thing I think the main thing that's better in episode 2 is the fact that Annie's older. So he's a little bit less annoying. Also, there's less Jar Jar. And then the scene with them in the arena is really cool. And you talk about the comedic.
Yeah, there's a fun little relationship moment in there. I didn't even mention when I was talking about that. That is a good thing in there. There's where Obi-Wan's why are you here? And it's oh yeah, we came to rescue. Well, great rescue. And I think Ewan McGregor makes one of the best subtle comedic faces of his career. And absolutely, I agree with that.
Yeah, so that's my number 10.
Mm-hmm. My number 9 is Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, which I sincerely doubt will be in this video for you. I know you like this one a lot more than I do. I still, and I debated about this one. It's the best of the prequels, clearly. I mean, I will debate that with no one. I mean, it is definitely the best of the prequels. It is still really stupid. It's got the stupid high ground scene, which is the most memed scene from the prequels. All that stuff.
Poor Anakin's burnt to a crisp.
It's just got bad acting. It's just got bad acting, bad writing, bad CG. It's got some neat stuff. It is the heaviest of all the Star Wars, honestly. Of the three trilogy endings, it's the heaviest, which I'd say not as a bad thing, honestly. It's the Order 66 stuff. I mean, it's super heavy, and especially the moment when Anakin walks in and there's all these younglings in there. It doesn't show anything, but as adults, we're sitting there, we know exact. I mean,
he's about to slaughter him.
Yeah, and it's horrible,
it's tough.
And so some of that is kind of, and I don't mean it's neat that he wants to slaughter him, but it's neat that transformation is on screen there, and it makes having that in there. If you watch the films in the Machete order, which we can put links to the original articles on that, and we won't go into that. We're not talking about order of watching, this order that you should watch the films in this particular video. But if you watch them in that order and you watch that, and then Return of the Jedi right after that, you see Luke walking in all black, and so you get this neat ominous tension there. So again, it's definitely the best of the prequels. It's got some awesome ships. It has the Arc 170 in it, which is super cool. It's got the new, I can't remember what it's called, but the new Jedi fighter that's a lot like a TIE fighter. It's super cool looking. That Anakin flies in there. And so it's got some of those neat things. But honestly, the thing, my biggest reason why it's still my third from the bottom is, other than a few of those key moments and important things, it's pretty forgettable. Like if I wasn't going to go back and look, I couldn't tell you all of the plot. Like, I can tell you the important bits, but I could have told you the important bits before I watched the movie. I mean, and so I
agree with that.
I mean, so that's where it is for me.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, my number 9 is episode 8. The Last Jedi.
Okay.
And it's not because
you're gonna get some flack.
I'm gonna get a lot of flack for that one. And I know it's not a terrible movie. And again, this is just a ranking of best or worst to best
in
our opinion. Yeah. And so it's not a terrible movie. I enjoy the movie, but the reason that it's ranked so low on mine is because of the storylines that it kills off, and because of some of the random story stuff that it does. So the biggest thing for me was Snoke, and I did not like. I'm not a huge fan of bringing back Emperor Palpatine, and so I really would have liked to see more Snoke stuff and see where that would have gone had Emperor Palpatine not been a thing. So they killed that off. They killed. They had the scene with I can't remember the girl's name.
Rose,
and
the casino
Finn,
stuff,
and the whole casino thing where they go and they're looking for the code breaker or whatever, and that for me is just like the pod race. It's just like
unnecessary,
completely unnecessary, and a waste of time. Also, you've got the ship, not Hondo. What's her name? Admiral Hondo, right?
Holdo.
I was like, that's all right.
Hondo.
Yeah. The Holdo maneuver or whatever, where she turns the ship and goes through,
which is some cool CG.
It's very cool, very cool. But it just kind of breaks things, and there's just a lot of story stuff that gets chopped off and completely slapped in the face by the director. And it kind of turns me off to the movie as a whole. So that's why it's my number 9.
Okay. My number 8.
Okay.
Last of this video, part 1, is Solo, a Star Wars story. So it's a good film. I enjoyed the film. It took me a really long time to watch the film. I actually watched it really recently for the first time ever. I had little to no interest in watching a Star Wars film about Han Solo without Harrison Ford. I mean, Harrison is Han Solo. I mean, he's iconic, and you can't recast him. The actor, I can't remember what his name is. We'll have to blurb it in here. So his name will be on the screen. He does an admirable job. He acts it well. I think he hits certain parts of Harrison's character. I think he did a good job on pieces of it, and less good, something. I don't know. Grammar Nazis, let me know in the comments. But he does a good job. He really does. It's got some fun moments. There's some neat characters. I like that era. I like that kind of beginning of the rebellion era. I would love to see what is the
Kira?
Yeah, Kira. No, not Kira, right? That's the leader of the rebellion cell. That's not Kira. Kira's the other lady. Whatever her name is we can blurb it, or he may pull it up. That her character was neat. Enfys Nest. That's who I'm trying to think of. That character and her little beginning rebel cell. And I would love to see more of her and more of those characters, either in a film or even in an animated series. That was neat. I like that era. There's some neat stuff. It was acted well. I mean, throughout. Honestly, I couldn't complain about any of the actors. It's great. It was really a fun film. It is where it is because, really, for me, because it was a totally unnecessary film. I didn't need it. I would never have said I wanted a film about Han Solo without Han Solo. And so that's where it sits for me. Number 8.
All right. So number 8 for me is also Solo.
Perfect spot.
Yeah, exactly. It's really for the same reason. I wasn't interested in watching a Solo film without Solo himself. So it was a good movie again, and it was acted well. There's a part about at the very end with Darth. I want to say Darth Bane.
I wish that would be Darth cool. Bane. That would be. I don't know how that would be possible at that point.
I don't know either. No, what is it? Darth
Maul.
Darth Maul. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't remember his name. Darth Maul, where him and Kira are talking or whatever, and it just kind of gave a little bit more life to his character, a little more ominousness, if that's a word. And because he wasn't in the prequels, he wasn't necessarily acted well. I mean, they had a swordsmith doing the lightsaber battles, so he wasn't acted at all, but gave a little more life to his character. I like that. I like Kira. I like even the guy who did play Han Solo. He did a good job, like you said. And the story is good. It's just, there's got to be a number 8, and this is the number 8 because there's so many good ones, So that's the end of our list.
The end of this list.
Yep. And
part 2 coming out next week.
Yeah. So we're gonna do part 2 of this. This is called Star Wars Ranked, and this is just, as we said earlier, just this year, just the movies. And in the future, we will do it again. And so, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. It's fine. Subscribe if you want to. That would be great. Ring the bell. Do all the things. We hope you have an awesome day.
Peace out.
Bye.